This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted to yet again be joined by Sam Jones here at the 20 Stories in Manchester. Sam, it's a beautiful venue today, isn't it? A big day. Pat Brown officially an out of Matchroom fighter and under your management. Just how excited first of all are you to get Pat Brown's professional journey underway?
Yeah, really good. Pat's he's a phenomenal talent, and everybody wanted him. Promotionally, managerially, everybody wanted him. I'm very fortunate that I'm going to play a small part in his career.
How did Matchroom pitch it differently? That got Pat's interest more than anyone else's. How did Matchroom pitch it to him?
Look, we went there. Went to the office, and Pat, just like what Eddie and Frank Smith were saying. Listen, Frank Smith played a big part in it. It was ultimately, look, I can give my opinion, and I've got a lot of experience now. But it's down to Pat, isn't it? Down to Pat. Pat's a 25-year-old man. He's not going to do anything that he doesn't really want to do. So Pat was impressed, and that was who Pat wanted to sign with, and that was we got a deal done. Pat's got good people around him, hopefully myself included. But it was a straightforward deal.
And just looking at when we see the start, first of all, do you know roughly when we can see his pro debut?
I'd say March, back end of March, you'll see his debut. Yeah.
And what pace can we expect to see him move that?
Look, these elite amateurs, like you see like some of my other fighters, like these elite amateurs that turn over, there's no point putting them in there with people that you wouldn't employ for sparring. Like, look, you forgive him, like maybe his first fight, it's just a case of putting the 10-ounce gloves on for the first time. But after that, we'll move him at a good pace because he's more than good enough to do it. Look, if Pat Brown doesn't become a world champion in 2 years' time, 2.5 years' time, we've all done our jobs incorrectly, in my opinion.
It's a big statement, and we've seen that obviously he'll be starting off at cruiserweight. What was the choice, especially when him being a heavyweight in the amateurs? What was the choice to go cruiser?
That's his weight. That's his weight right now. Whether he grow into a heavyweight, and he'll eventually probably be a heavyweight, but if not, he'll make the cruiserweight division his own division.
So you've got very, very big expectations. So if we were to map out the first 12 months for him, what can we see from the debut to a year on from that?
Progress every fight. Big progress every single fight. But look, no disrespect, I look at the British cruiserweight scene right now. Pat's going to be amongst it very soon.
Who would you say the toughest, out of the domestic cruiserweights right now, who would you say the toughest fight would be for Pat Brown?
Trying to give me, I don't know. There's some good fighters there. Chev Clark, Chris Billam-Smith, tough man. Chris Billam-Smith. They're all going to be fights that you would like to think would eventually happen down the line, but Pat's going to be the best of the bunch.
And just moving away, let's look at some of the big talking points going on in boxing. December 21st, we know there's a big fight going on out in Riyadh, Usyk versus Fury 2, but a fighter that you're now working with again, Johnny Fisher, is also on that card a month to go. Just excited for him to get rowdy in Saudi, as he's been saying?
Yeah, look, it's brilliant. It's a great opportunity for Johnny to go there and perform on the biggest undercard there is to box on. Johnny only turned pro a few years back, and if you would ask him when he was in a library with no dough in his bank account that you're going to be fighting on Fury Usyk's undercard 4 years later, he wouldn't believe you. I think he'll tell you that himself. So he's in a very blessed position, and it's again with Johnny, it's fight by fight. There's no expectations of Johnny because no one expected anything when he turned pro. So fight by fight, he's got an opposition in front of him that's trained by my friend Jamie Moore. So look, it's all eyes are on Dave Allen, not what comes after it.
One thing that's been so clear with Johnny is that big fan base that he's got, not just locally, but now when you look on social media as well. And one thing that I've been thinking recently is, while not everyone's cup of tea is social media, how important is it for a fighter to at least be active on there and constantly promoting themselves, as well as yourself and the promoters doing it?
Look, we're in a social media world, aren't we, where that's the world we live in at the moment. It's very important that you have, whether you don't want to do it or that you have a team to do it for you, you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to be out there. Otherwise, you are going to get left behind. That's unfortunately the reality of the world. Which is it right? No, it definitely isn't. But that's where we are. That's where we are. So Johnny and his family have smashed it, haven't they?
And then we also know that he's now a world-ranked heavyweight as well, 13 with the WBO. Just nice to see him getting that progression and getting closer to a big fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny, like I keep saying, I'm not just saying this, it's step by step with Johnny. So if Johnny gets to become a British champion, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Becomes European champion. Unbelievable. World champion. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not saying he's going to be a unified world heavyweight champion. We're just enjoying the trip with Johnny. But one thing he will do is fight everybody. Johnny was prepared to fight anybody. So bring it all on.
And then just looking at the main event of that evening, we do see Fury versus Usyk to a big rematch. A month ago, does your head keep swaying on who you think is going to win?
Listen, I want Tyson Fury to win the fight. Usyk's the favourite in the fight. He has to be after the last performance. But can Tyson Fury win that fight? Yeah, he can.
What needs to be done differently from Tyson Fury on his end of things?
I don't know. It's a question for Sugar Hill. It's a question for Sugar Hill. I just think that Tyson at the beginning of the fight, first half of the fight, in my opinion, was kind of cruising in the fight, and then Usyk just kind of found his distance and was clipping Tyson. I don't know, Tyson just needs to be more consistent from the first bell, like from what he was doing, use his size advantage, his long arms, and I think he can win the fight, I do. But I don't want to say, oh, he's definitely going to win, so I get loads of stick, but I do think Tyson Fury is capable of winning that fight.
One thing that's been said so heavily throughout the build-up is that if Fury is to win or lose, it's going to be Anthony Joshua next. Do you really see a Fury who could become a 3-time heavyweight world champion that night? Do you see him giving a voluntary shot to Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, because it's the biggest fight out there. I mean, look, I want to see that fight. Win, lose, draw, whatever. I want to see them fight because we're running out of time now. Do you know what I mean? We're really, really running out of time. So, as a British boxing fan, I want to see them two glove up and fight each other.
If it isn't Tyson Fury next for Anthony Joshua in this case, what fights would you like to see him in, especially with Dubois being out of the picture now as well?
The Dubois rematch. If it's not Tyson Fury, it's got to be the Dubois rematch. And AJ's a competitor, so AJ will want to put that fight right. So let's see what happens. But I'm a big Anthony Joshua fan. I'm a big Tyson Fury fan, so I want to see those two fight.
And last Tuesday, I wanted to speak about this on Friday, but I didn't want to take too much time. It was late when we got the interview up and running. We saw your friend, Darren Till, I suppose, I guess his friend, enemy, whatever you want to make him.
I don't think Darren Till would call me his friend, but yeah, he's fighting Tommy Fury, yeah.
What do you make of that? What did you make of the press conference, first of all?
Hilarious. You want me to be honest, it was hilarious. I mean, I think John Fury kind of met his match with Darren Till. Like, usually, John Fury's a very big presence. He's a very big presence going into a press conference. He's a big man. He's a very loud man, and Darren Till was not one bit intimidated, was he? He's a Fruit Loop, isn't he, Darren Till? But that's what makes him almost much must-watch television. But Darren Till is also a great fighter, like all-round fighter. Boxing, he was a mixed martial artist for the UFC, but he was a good stand-up fighter, Darren Till. So I know he's been training. He's got a brilliant trainer with Joe McNally in the Rotunda gym. They'll fancy their chances in that fight, and I give him a huge chance because I think Darren Till can win that fight. Yeah.
What do you make of him saying that if he's down in the fight, he's just going to kick him in the head? What do you reckon to that?
You wouldn't put it past him, but like you would hope he wasn't going to do that. But what are you going to do if he does? Who's going to stop Darren Till? Like, I wouldn't want to be on the security team trying to drag Darren Till off somebody. So, good luck to him. But no, I'll be going to the fight because I think I'll have a fighter on the undercard. So yeah, I'll be going to it. Looking forward to it.
And then just moving away, Jack Catterall has been ordered to face Arnold Barboza Jr., a fight that we thought we were going to get back in August. Here now, I'm guessing negotiations are underway. Excited to get Jack one step closer to a world title?
Yeah, look, we've got other options. We're looking at the Paro Hitchens winner. It's not just Arnold Barboza, because I genuinely believe that fight should be for a vacant world title, because I don't believe Lopez is going to fight the winner of it. Not because, listen, before anyone says anything, I don't believe Lopez is looking and thinking, oh, I'm scared to fight. Lopez is an amazing fighter, so he's just looking at these monster fights with like Terence Crawford's of the world. So I don't believe he's going to fight the winner, so hopefully if that fight was to be made with Barboza, it can be made for at least an interim world title.
And then just lastly, it is fight week for Cameron Vuong in a huge step up in my opinion against Gavin Gwynne. A really, really good fight, a fight that I think fans should be giving more attention to, but given the main event, it is quite hard to look away from that. But regardless, a huge step up for Cameron Vuong. What was it in about this stage that he's in his career now, only just over a year on from the pro debut, to pick out a fighter like Gavin Gwynne? The man down there getting interviewed right now.
So listen, I'm not just... I like to think I'm a decent matchmaker, right? I've done this a long period of time, but I have great people around me to help and to give their opinion. When you've got experience like Jamie Moore with you, who says, this boy is ready for this test, then I think so. Jamie thinks so. Nigel Travis thinks so. So that's what we're doing. Gavin Gwynne's a brilliant fighter. He's a throwback fighter. Respect him loads, but we believe we've got a world-class prospect on our hands with Cameron Vuong.
I know you don't want to overlook the fight with Gavin Gwynne.
We're not going to. We're not. Honestly, usually, you know, I give it the spiel that he's going to do this. Let's concentrate on Gavin Gwynne, and afterwards, Josh, me and you will speak about what's next.
Perfect. Well, Sam, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time, my friend, and I'll see you in Birmingham.